Hello YouTube, this is Goddard Radio Moscow here again with another beer review. For this one today I'm at home visiting my folks over the weekend, so I'm filming in my dad's study today. And incidentally I found that this room has a very good temperature for storing beer. It actually feels just like my friend in Germany's cellar. Just an absolutely ideal temperature for storing beer, so I can finally get stuck into some of the big beer stash that I've had at home waiting to be reviewed for quite a while. So today I want to go back to the Brewdog Brewery and review one of the ones that came out over the summer. This is the Brewdog Electric India. Now, I've done many Brewdog reviews before, so I'll put the links to those videos for you in the description. As is usual, I'll take you through the history of the Brewdog Brewery, but if you are simply interested in the tasting or have seen one of my Brewdog video reviews before, I would say to you to fast forward just towards the second half of this video and you will catch that particular segment. But anyway, for those of you who are maybe watching for the first time, I would say stick with me for the history of this one. But Brewdog were founded back in 2007 by James Watt and Martin Dickey, both of whom were only 24 years old at the time, and they formed their brewery in the Keswick Industrial Estate in Fraserburgh in the northeast of Scotland. I always describe Scotland as looking like a monster's head, and Fraserburgh's just right on the nose in the northeast corner of Scotland. But in the early days they used to sell their beer at local markets and stuff like that, and out of the back of their old beat up van as they call it. But they're well known for having a core range which is actually 6 beers, and they have a number of occasional brews, and this is one of these occasional brews here. But their occasional ones include various different styles: ales, stouts, pilsners, you name it, they've done it. And they're also very well known for experimenting with different ingredients. One of the beers that you'll find I've reviewed already is the Hello, My Name is Mette Marit, and it used lingonberries, which were from Scandinavia, and they've also had another one which was called Hello, My Name is Ingrid, and that used cloudberries, which you'll probably recognise from the Cloudberry Kopparberg Swedish cider that was going around for quite a while. Now in 2008 there was actually a big media storm surrounding the company over their Tokyo beer which they produced, which is an 18% ABV, and many in the media attacked the company, calling them irresponsible and things like that, but they didn't care, they kept on brewing anyway, and thank God they did. But the company is actually well known for having held the title of the world's strongest beer on more than one occasion, and their strong brews have included the 32% Tactical Nuclear Penguin, the 41% Sink the Bismarck, and the 55% End of History, which was actually packaged with Squirrels and Stouts, which got the company into a bit of trouble with animal rights activists, I understand. But these beers, these extra strength beers, have been produced largely due to the ongoing kind of battle that they're having with Schwarzbrau in Germany for the title of world's strongest beer. Schwarzbrau actually hold this at the moment as of October 2013, sorry, I'm getting my years mixed up, but as of October 2013, Schwarzbrau in Germany hold the title of world's strongest beer with their Schwarzbrau 57% ABV, an absolute monster of a beer, I have to say. I'd love to try it, but it's probably thousands of euros. But anyway, in 2008 they also began exporting to Japan, Sweden and the USA, and they also began their famous Equity for Punks shareholding options in 2009, and this aided the company in expanding by 200% during a recession. As I'm sure you'll agree, that's very impressive for any business, especially during a recession. Now in 2010 they started the operations for their brew pubs. The first one opened in Aberdeen, their nearest city, in October 2010, and this was followed by new bars in Edinburgh and then Glasgow in 2011, and then this was followed the next year by one in Camden and London, and that year they also launched their second round of shareholding, bringing in 5,000 new shareholders to the company. Now in 2012 the bars expanded in England, with locations opening in Nottingham, Manchester, Newcastle, Bristol, Birmingham and Shoreditch in London, their second branch in London. There's also one in Leeds as well, but I'm not quite sure exactly when that opened. But the brewery also moved to their new brewing facility in Ellon, which is much closer to the city of Aberdeen. They're actually building a visitor centre there, so you'll be able to visit that soon. I'm not sure exactly when that opens. They haven't actually released that yet, I'm sure. But the Fraserburgh facility that I mentioned earlier actually is still operational. They do a lot of their experimentation stuff there, and I'm sure they also produce the really high fermentation stuff there as well. So that brewery is still going. They have 2 brewing facilities, but they're actually the largest independently owned brewery in Scotland, and they produce 120,000 bottles per month. for export all across the world. You're talking all throughout Europe. I've seen Brewdog beer in Estonia, in Tallinn. You get them in the Far East, Australia, I'm sure New Zealand as well, and North America, and I'm sure they're actually expanding into South America as well. So pretty much anywhere you go in the world, you should be able to find some Brewdog these days. It just goes to show you, they've only started back in 2007, and in 2013, 6 years later, look how much they've expanded. A really, really good brewery, I have to say. But as is tradition with my Brewdog beer reviews, I'll just read you through, I'll just take you through the blurb on this one. This one says, one day, one brewery, 7,000 co-creators, 200 brewers. The result, Electric India. This beer is the bastard love child of craft beer revolution, an unholy union between a Belgian saison and an Indian pale ale, democratically brewed by our very own Equity for Punks shareholders. Electric India is a hoppy saison brewed with fresh orange peel, lashings of heather honey, crushed black peppercorns, and enthusiastically hopped with mountains of Amarillo and Nelson Sauvin. A beer for the people, by the people, direct from the craft beer republic of Brewdog. Now, as you can see from the bottle art here, typical Brewdog bottle art on this one. The bottle cap for this one is the white with the blue dog. As I've mentioned before in other videos, you get a blue dog with a white cap, a red dog with a white cap, a blue and a red shield with a white cap also, and you also get the black cap with the gold dog on it. I'm not sure exactly what their system is for labelling their beers. I thought it might have been the black ones were for the special beers or the high fermentation ones, but that doesn't appear to be the case. But anyway, as I mentioned in the blurb, this beer is hopped with Amarillo and Nelson Sauvin, and it's brewed with orange peel, heather honey and black peppercorns. It's a 7.2% ABV, and it's a fusion between a Belgian saison, and an Indian pale ale. So this one is a very interesting combination. I've had this before and I really enjoyed this one, so I'm looking forward to actually getting the tasting done for the review. But let's get this guy open and get on with the tasting here. I'll just try and preserve the cap as usual for this one. But let's get this guy poured. I've stolen one of my dad's RAF tankards for this one. So, different glass from my usual 6 degrees north chalice that I have. Swirl this around, see if we can get some head on this one. There we are. That should give you a nice head there. Kind of just chugged the last little bit in, I have to say. As you can see, it's a beautiful light golden colour. Very, very nice looking. There's a lot of carbonation in that, I have to say. The head's very, very fluffy. There are some big bubbles in that. I kind of screwed up the pour a little bit. But anyway, in terms of the aroma, it's actually got a really, really nice kind of sweet nose to it, this one. The aroma I'm getting here, there's a lot of floral notes here. It's very yeasty, actually, I have to say. There's a little bit of kind of spice character in there, which you would expect with it having some peppercorns in it. Really nice citrusy, yeasty smell, I have to say. The floral notes really coming through as well. There's a bit more depth to the fruity aromas as well. I'm not quite sure. It goes a bit beyond citrusy, I have to say. There's a lot of nice fruits in there. I'm not so good at picking out the different individual fruits when it comes to smelling beers, I have to say. But let's get on with the tasting of this one. As we say in Scotland, slanty, or slant, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, I have to say. And the first thing that comes through with this is the citrus notes there, I have to say. There's a nice, I'm actually starting to get the honey in this one. I didn't pick up the honey so much in the aroma, I have to say. The honey is coming through just in the flavour, sort of mid-taste. You're getting the citrus and the fruity elements first. The spice is a bit more apparent in the yeasty side of this beer, so you're getting the citrus and fruity elements with that yeasty, that spicy peppery yeast in the background there, and there's a nice honey element that goes in with that. This flavour is actually very well mixed, I have to say, very well balanced. The hops are giving it a really sort of nice sort of bitterness to balance it out just at the end as well. This beer is very, very well balanced in the flavour, I have to say. I'm really impressed with this one. Like I say, I had this on draft actually, and this one's very, very similar in the bottle as it is on the draft. It's quite impressive when the breweries can pull that off. in terms of the mouth, I would call this one medium bodied. As I say, very, very nice flavour. There's a bit stronger carbonation in this one. The aftertaste is mainly the sort of, I'm sure you're getting the spicy sort of yeast in there with the sort of citrusy elements and honey elements over the top. There's just a little bit lingering in the hot business. The whole flavour stays in with the aftertaste on this one. This is a very good flavoured beer. This is one of the best ones I think that Brewdog have produced. Probably one of my favourite ones. I'm disappointed that it's only a one-off brew, this one. So if you do see this one, definitely give it a try. It really is worth the shot, and it's just the same price as their other beers. Hopefully this one does make the return, but this is a really, really good beer. I'm highly impressed with this one. Now that I've not had it for a little while and I'm going back and trying it again, I'm even more impressed with it, I have to say. But anyway, I hope this beer review has been informative for you. I highly recommend that you check out the Brewdog Electric India. If you've not tried Brewdog before, I would be tempted to ask you what cave you've been living in. I apologise if this review's been a bit rambling. I'm quite tired for this one, but I hope it's been informative anyway. Hopefully, if you've not subscribed to the channel already, I hope you'll consider it, and please let me know in the comments section your own thoughts on this beer. And please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. You've been watching Goddard Radio Moscow. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.